Alright, folks, as I promised it, or I said, let's show you how to create different breakdown structures, not work breakdown, but breakdown of your work. We talked about Joseph work breakdown structure, and if you collapse it into phases, we notice that we have four main phases, and inside these phases we have some work to do. I will call this work as work package, the smallest part of the work to be done. So if you have to show in a different structure, if you have to show this work in a different way, point of view, you have to classify your work package. I will insert a new field as I showed before, double click on the head of column, or right click on the mouse, choosing properties. The same thing. Properties. Okay, the name will be responsible. Responsible. The one who is responsible for doing the work or reporting the work. That must be a professional code system. And there are three types of field: text, numerical, and date and time. Of course, responsible will be text type, and I'll say that Joseph will be responsible or is responsible for these and these and these parts. The smallest part must be classified, not every part. Mamani is responsible for this one, and Rafael is responsible for this one. But there is an outsider. The outsider is responsible for analyzing, defining, and controlling the work to be done. As I said, there is a new field to make a new classification, not under phases, but under responsibles. And how do you do that? Project WBS, there is just one WBS. Structure main, I will call properties from this specific breakdown structure, and I will call it by phases, according to what Joseph decided. Okay, now by phases here, drop down list. Is my mouse here. It is also the main structure. Please pay attention to this main structure information. But as we classified the work, the smallest parts of the work to be done by their initial name, my money here, and the outsider in the deliverable summary. Okay, I will call again WBS. Okay, project WBS, and I will make a new structure. But this new structure is created by fields. Yeah, it's created by fields, a new field, but it's created by fields from this structure. There is a structure, there is a field. I will create a new field, a new structure by fields, based on this main structure. Okay, create. There must be a code for it, like professionally coding. WBS. And I will use a field to classify it. As I have a new field, and just to one new field, I add which field I will use, user defined, because I create a new one, responsible. Remember, I create a new field, so it's not a standard field, not component of cost, material, but a new field. Okay, that's the key of my new classification. Update phase by name. Okay, of course, you will try everything you can here and see the results and decide which is better for you. But I will use update phases by name. Okay? I will give by a name, by responsible, not by face, but by responsible. I will make a well information, reasonable explanation to understand why I made such WBS. Okay, I may switch to it, but I won't do it. I just cancel. Now you see that there are two structures, by phases and by responsible. You see the work by phase. I will show you by WBS view, I mean by the small boxes. By phase, I will short it. Okay, it is very didactic. And I will change the structure here. Remember, I have 12 work package. And if I change the way of view, the way of classification, I will say Joseph has responsibilities, Mamani has some other responsibility, and the outsider has just one. But this vision, this mode, I have 12 work package, and by responsible, I also have 12 work package. If I do not product these packets, I won't have my construction of administration of complex, construction of administrative office complex. We are seeing the same work, but classified in a different way. For Joseph, it may be interesting to see the parts he has his duties and the activities and resource and the money Joseph will manage. Also, Mamani and Rafael. But suppose we have people from our company and people that are outsider. Okay? Show columns, no. New fields. Properties. Outsider. Or well, okay, I will say outsider. Outsider. Of course, código. Outsider. Text. Okay. And I say, Joseph is an outsider. No. Max Posse is. Amy Posse is. Yes. Então, so I may select all the cells, fill with no. Please, capital letters. Fill, no. Fill, select cells and fill with no. It's different from Excel when you type no and then you drop the cell to be copied. We have to use the command fill. By responsible, now I will prepare another WBS using the original one. No, using by responsible. I made some annotations on my by responsible. So create by fields from this structure that I select. Okay, number 2. Okay, create by field structure. I use code 11. Which field I will use? I will classify it by outside the yes or no, and then I will classify by responsible. The structure will show outsider, breakdown by responsibles, breakdown by its work package, update phase name. Okay, I want suite. Okay, by outsider, and then by responsible. Okay, now I have my original one, Joseph's first idea, my own needs, who is responsible for what? 12 work package. And now I think I will have by outsider, by responsible. Okay, let's make some alpha. First level, projects. Second level, is an outsider or not? Yes, it's an outsider. I may edit cells. Insiders. Who are the insiders? JMR. Joseph, I may write it down. Joseph. Mamani. Rafael. Outsider. Amy Posse. And then we have the 12 work package as before. We are talking about the same products, the same deliverable, the same smallest parts with the activities and resource, everything. And of course, you will see the Gantt diagram according to this new classification. That's not our intention now, but you see the two fields that helped us to classify. You may hide these fields. You have not shown it to have your work breakdown. Let's see the new structure here. By phase, according to Joseph's idea. Responsible, according to my needs. And this one, I don't know who asked it for, but somebody asked it. Here. Outsider, Marcus Posse, just one work package. You have 12 work package exactly as any other structure, because every WBS just works for classify the work we have. I think that's the shortest explanation for new breakdown structures. The first I made was based on Joseph's one, and it can work. He can work completing his structure the way he will produce each part of the pre-construction phase. And if Mamani decides to see how many activities he will have in his life, by responsible Mamani, here are the activities for site preparations completion. I think it's the fastest way to present you WBS. This drop-down list now has 3 different types of structuring. The WBS mode view is here. Remember to explore diagram templates. Templates shows the information you will see inside each box. Projects, codes, start, I don't want to see the duration, I don't want to see this, but you can change it to name, number of workers, anything you decide to, number of hours, work hours, and it will be summarized at every upper level in each structure you use. Okay? This is for structuring. But there was another element here, the layout. The layout keeps what you see and just what you want to be seen, the fields you chose, and the way diagrams look like, and to preserve your own layout, not this layout A, but to preserve your own layout, you say Gantt, you choose Gantt layout, save this layout as something new. And the name is WBS. Type responsible. Okay, now I have my layout. I don't want to show calendar. Okay, hide everything on the right and hide this column. Insert show column, notes, notes, notes. This is my layout updated. So Gantt layout, saving project as current, updating my, not new, my old layout. So responsible has just this information. I want to move code for the first column. So Gantt layout current. I don't want you to see my Gantt. I don't want you to see the second panel. Gantt layout save as current. If I select the original one, a lot of information, calendar type, age type, under Joseph's work breakdown structure. But if I decide to look to my WBS type by responsible, everything comes exactly as I defined. The fields, the size of the fields, the style, no Gantt view, notes inside, and by responsible. The original layout A is by phases. My own layout is by responsibles. I don't want to see this or this, so I may hide, and let it cleaner. Of course, Gantt layout, saving project as current. Now layout A completes a set of fields I want to use, but anyway, a complete set of unuseful fields for now. Not of fields. It came for a standard set of fields. You also has your Gantt. Okay, Gantt layout, save this layout A as current. But when I change into my own layout, no Gantt, no extra fields, just the fields I want. What is, my God, I should have kept here just notes. Notes. I have here done something wrongly. Hide. Now I have to preserve, update my layouts. So, level, responsible, phase outside, defining the structuring. And the third drop-down list, the layouts. As I decide to preserve for a quick access, no Gantt, no graphics, no extra fields, and you have you don't have layouts for WBS modes or WBS view, because layouts is a set of information, data tables, graphics, and other things we are going to see in near future. Okay, that's your homework.